What's up, everybody? I don't even really know how to start this video. I have so many thoughts swirling through my head. It's been a crazy 36 hours. A lot has changed for us. What we know, what we say is our normal has changed. The world is changing around us, and it's easy to get caught up in the emotions. It's easy to get caught up in what we see people talking about. I was in Sam's earlier today, and they were completely sold out of toilet paper. I'm not sure why. Why are people rushing to the stores to buy toilet paper? Of all things, why toilet paper? I don't know, but we see things like that and we react, we respond. It's natural for us to have an emotional response to these things going on around us. We get on social media, we get on Twitter, we read the news, we turn on the TV, and things are changing, and people are either freaking out or they're on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and they think that all of the precautions and everything that everyone is doing is completely overboard and absolutely ridiculous. And that's not really what this video is about. For me, as I sit here tonight and process and think about what life looks like right now, what life will look like moving forward, what the implications are of all of the decisions that have been made in our country and in our world over the last 2 days, I have more questions than answers, but I can't stop thinking about one word: peace. There are so many verses where we are promised peace as followers of Christ, where we're promised hope. We're not promised that everything's always going to be okay, or that things are always going to make sense, or that we're always going to know what to do or how to respond, but we're promised peace. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 say this. It says, "Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for what He's done." I have another video that talks about these verses and this idea that when we pray, it takes our anxiety, it places it on God. But even beyond that, it's this idea that we would tell God what we need, that we would be honest with Him, that we would let Him know how we feel, what we're experiencing, what our needs are, but then also thanking Him for what He's done, because in that moment, when we thank God for what He's done, instantly our perspective shifts. Instantly our heart and our attention is set on who God is. And it gives us hope because we know that God has moved before and we trust that He will move again. But then I love what verse 7 says, and this is what I hope to encourage you with and what I've been encouraged with over the last couple of days. Verse 7 says this: "Then, when you can do that, when you can shift your perspective, when you can recognize who God is and what He's done, then you will experience God's peace. It exceeds anything that we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus." And that gives me hope. And I really believe that as we sit here today and the NBA has canceled and the NHL has canceled and tennis is canceled and Major League Soccer has canceled and March Madness is canceled, the NCAA came out today and said that all winter and spring sports are canceled. These are implications that go so far beyond today or this week. It affects tens of thousands, if not millions of people. The economic implications from it are so far reaching. Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has been canceled. South by Southwest in Austin, Texas has been canceled. There are things that are happening around us, and it would be easy for us to be anxious. It would be easy for us to be fearful. It would be easy for us to get caught up in what we see going on around us and how we see other people responding. But these verses give us perspective and they give us hope, and they simply say, hey, don't be anxious. Remember who God is. and then walk in his peace. And that peace, check this out, will guard your heart. That peace will guard your mind. All day, I have had just so many emotions. My head has been spinning with all of these different thoughts. I feel it from so many different areas of my life. One, from the sports side of things, I'm the PA announcer for Texas A&M softball. And in 24 hours, you go from playing games with no fans to not playing any games at all. And now all of a sudden the season is canceled and College World Series is canceled. And so I feel that. Not only do I feel it personally because I love that experience and won't have the opportunity to do that for the remainder of the season, but I also feel it economically because I get paid to do that and we look forward to that money. But I also feel it because of all of the people and the athletes that it affects, and my heart goes out to them and hurts for them. But I feel it in a completely different aspect because I have young kids. And so the dad in me worries, and the dad in me wants to protect and wants to shelter and guard my kids. And then I have parents who are aging and have pre-existing conditions, and so I feel it from that aspect. And then my wife is in healthcare, and she's a nurse, and she goes back to work, and she has to walk through the middle of whatever is coming and whatever the future holds, and then step back into our home every single day, and I feel that. And then beyond all of those things, I'm a college pastor, and as I sit here tonight, the university that I serve the most is Texas A&M University in College Station, Texas, and they have made the decision to take all of their classes online. And the implications that has for what college ministry looks like, the impact that has on our students, on our ministry, gives me reason for pause. That's why I have spent a lot of time thinking and praying and considering, what does this all look like? What does this all mean? And tonight I went on a bike ride to try and collect my thoughts and clear my head. And I put on a new album by Passion Worship. It's called Roar. And in my 5 miles and 25 minutes of riding, I listened to the first 4 songs. I just want to read you a few lyrics from these songs. The first song is called There's Nothing That Our God Can't Do. And it says this: just one word, you calm the storm that surrounds me. Just one word, the darkness has to retreat. Just one touch, I feel the presence of heaven. Just one touch, my eyes are open to see. My heart can't help but believe. There's nothing that our God can't do. There's not a mountain that he cannot move. Well, praise the name that makes a way. There's nothing that our God can't do. Just one word, you heal what's broken inside me. Just one word, and you revive every dream. Just one touch, I feel the power of heaven. Just one touch, my eyes are open to see. As I'm writing, listening to this album, song 1 plays, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And then song 2 comes on, and it's called All Praise, and it says this in verse 2, it says, in famine we will eat. In drought we'll see a downpour. Let our fighting cease. The Prince of Peace has conquered. And then I love this bridge. It says, why should my heart grow weary? Why be so downcast, O my soul? You are in every moment. You are my greatest miracle. It gives us such hope. It gives us such promise that the Prince of Peace has come and conquered. And then we declare, why be so downcast, O my soul? Why should my heart grow weary? Because you are in every moment. You are my greatest miracle. And then comes song 3. It's called Good Grace. It's by a band called Hillsong United. They lead worship in Australia at Hillsong Church. And the lyrics, part of the lyrics for this song are, don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high. Don't fear any evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. Take courage. Hold on. Be strong. Remember where our help comes from. There's such a declaration in my heart as I'm writing And I feel like God is just encouraging me and just wrapping his arms around me and reminding me, don't be anxious about anything. Let God's peace guard your heart and your mind. Take courage. Hold on. Remember where your help comes from. Our help does not come from the government. Our help does not come from being healthy. Our help does not come from our job or our income or our bank account or our social status. Our help comes from, and our hope comes from, the creator of the universe. And then as I'm getting ready to pull into my house, song 4 comes on. It's called King of Glory. And check out these lyrics. Don't lose heart, oh my soul. Don't give up. There is hope. There is always hope. And there is peace in the storm. Don't forget, he is Lord. There is a King of glory. There is a God who saves, one who is strong and mighty. Freedom is in his name. So open the gates of heaven, lift up a shout of praise. There is a lion roaring, Jesus, the King of glory. So check this out. So lift your eyes, stand in awe. There is one, only one, where my help comes from. Nations bow, mountains shake at the sound of just one name. And that name is Jesus. And I hope that you're encouraged. I hope that you find peace, because I believe not only are we supposed to find peace, like Philippians 4 encourages, that God's peace will guard our heart and our mind, but I believe that in this season we are called to be people of peace. And I cannot get the thought out of my head that yes, things are changing. Things are going to look different for the next several weeks, potentially for the next several months. Life is going to look different. But we have an opportunity to not be anxious. Instead, with prayer and thanksgiving, present our requests to God, and then let God's peace guard our heart and our mind, and to step into the middle of our family situations, to step into our workplace, to step into our apartment complexes, or wherever we are, into the grocery store, into our neighborhoods, and be people of peace. People where God has shaped our heart, has protected and guarded our heart, and he uses us to speak truth. There are a lot of people that are going to be affected by this, and they don't have hope. They don't have peace. And what an opportunity that we have to speak into this, to show love, to show peace. And James 1 says, consider it pure joy when you face troubles of many kinds, for the testing of our faith brings about perseverance. This is not going to be the end of us. This is not going to be the end of our college ministry. This will not be the end of our communities. This will not be the end of our churches. This will not be the end of our neighborhoods. This will not be the end of our nation. This will not be the end of our story. We have a chance to persevere. We have a chance to let this testing of our faith bring joy, bring peace, bring hope, and then to let God leverage that in our life and in our hearts to share that to the people around us. So my hope, and the reason that I'm putting these words on camera, is that you'd be encouraged, that you would have hope, that you would have peace, that you would have calm and stillness in the middle of the storm, and you would recognize where your hope comes from. I'm praying for you guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope that it speaks to you and that it encourages you. And we're all in this together. If I can be praying for you specifically, I'd love for you to leave a comment below and let me know how I can do that. If I can do anything for you, please reach out and let me know, and I will see you soon.